So this is the right moment to work on the 32-bit file. We can act to change the exposure. We can work on the gamma. We can add some render region if we made some mistakes. Anyway, this is the moment when you are still on the 32-bit file. Okay, this is the main file, and I still have to create the smart object. I just created the different folders. I put the passes in the passes, mask in the masks, and then this could be the right time to work to modify the 32-bit file. Now, remember, this could be done any moment because anyway, this beauty pass have to be saved in a smart object, and that smart object will stay 32-bit, so we can go back to that anytime, any moment. But anyway, it's the beginning of our journey, and if you have some mistakes, this is the right time to at least try to work on them, or because the base render will actually be the base of your post-production. So if you have some mistakes, you can be distracted by them, and it's not that great. So let's say that we can work on something here. Now, the exposure of this image is correct. We don't need any adjustment on the exposure, but I just want to show you what to do in case you need it. And there's a difference between files where you have the content of the layer which not get to the top of the canvas, and on the other side there's sometimes you get I don't know, maybe you have a tree and you arrives there, you touch this fringe of the image. The problem is when you go and you convert this to a smart object, the new smart object will be as big as the content of your current layer. And this is a problem if you then want to import masks in the smart object, and you have masks which are basically bigger than the actual image. As you can see here, if you have like a mask and you merge these two layers, the size of these two layers together in terms of pixel is bigger than the size of these beauty pass. So you can get some problems in the future if you import masks in the beauty pass, in the smart object of the beauty pass later on. So what can you do at the beginning of post-production? First of all, what you can do is you can just check your render and check if you have any wrong exposure in everywhere. You can it doesn't matter where it is, but let's say we want to fix a little bit the wall here. So again, I go and I search for the right mask, which is here somewhere. That's it. I go into the channel, green, and this time, as you can see, we kind of forget about the 3-step workflow. We are not doing it because these adjustments will stay inside the smart object, the 32-bit smart object anyway. They're not inside here in the 16-bit. And so what I'm doing here now is with the selection, I go and I select exposure. And as you can see, when you have a selection, now the adjustment is automatically masked with the proper area, and then you can play with the exposure. And I would say I prefer to work with the gamma instead of working with exposure, because if you go up with the gamma, with the exposure, you see you easily overbright the area, but if you just go down with the gamma, everything becomes kind of pure and white and clean. And most of the time, this effect is something that I can see on photographers' work, and I like it because it's kind of clean and is not overexposed, I would say. So let's say that now the wall, I like it more, and I want to keep it like that. One thing you can do is before you convert these two things into a single smart object, and by the way, you can have as many adjustments as you want, not just one. what I normally do is I make a duplicate of the folder of the mask folder. So I select the entire folder and I press Ctrl J, and this is the mask copy. Okay, if you want, you can rename the group mask 32-bit, and then I bring this down here inside the render folder. And I just want to select this group now, and also you see this the beauty pass and all the adjustments we have here to fix the base render. So we select these three things, right click, and we convert to a smart object. And now all these layers and the group of the mask will be stored inside a new smart object. And once the job is done, once Photoshop complete the operation, we can go inside that smart object. Of course, we need to hide this mask 32-bit group, but at least we have the 32-bit render, and the canvas is big as the original one, is not cut it out here. And if we need something else, we still have the mask, so we can go around and say, okay, I need, I don't know, this blue one, yeah, channels, blue, Control click on the thumbnail and back in here, and I go for another exposure, and I can again work on I don't know, the gamma, for example, or the exposure. So you see, getting the masks here will simplify our life, because otherwise you need to go back on the 16-bit and copy paste masks from one file to the other. Now once you're happy with the result, you close in this and you click on yes. The file is going to be saved in the cache inside the other PSB, and once it's finished, this file here will be updated and you will see the new result here. Okay, this is it, as you can see, and now we can convert the whole file in 16-bit channel file. Remember, before you do that, remember from the previous videos, you need to take the ZDepth and bring the ZDepth into another file, so you can have the 32-bit ZDepth when you want it. Now, if you are asking why I don't just right click and I put this ZDepth into a smart object, I mean, it's not sometimes it's not the right thing to do, because it's not that handy, it's not that easy then to work with that. Is sometimes you don't have any, you don't have any alpha in the ZDepth, so the final canvas of this image in a smart object will be smaller than this canvas, and so once you copy paste the ZDepth from one file to the other, then you need to move it down, and it's a mess. So trust me, the best thing you can do is to right click in here and then duplicate layer and bring the ZDepth into another file, and you can save the ZDepth of this file as a PSD and open it when you need it. Okay, so by the way, now you can just convert this image to 16-bit, don't merge, and then save the PSB. Another example here, we have an image from a former student, and as you can see here, we have a few folders. Now, I told you, I give you some rules, then it's up to you if you want to use them or not. In this case, we have just a bunch of a few folders. We have finalization, and then we have adjustments, and then backgrounds for the background photo. But this is not the, I would say, starting point, because the render itself is inside here and is inside the smart object. And if we open the smart object, you will see is a 32-bit file, as you can see up here, and there's a bunch of adjustment here. So if I select them all and I turn them off with the eye, okay, I can just put them into a folder to make it quicker. Then I can see here this is the original render, and it's kind of dark. Every surface here is not pure white. which is not a problem anymore. If you think about, how many times we kind of fight in the 3D render, in the render engine to get very clean white surfaces. And sometimes it's not possible just because maybe you don't have enough light bouncing around, or your HDRI is not strong enough. Anyway, from now on, you don't care anymore. If you get something gray, you're happy with that. And then when you will open the image and you create the 32-bit smart object, you can just go and select the mask from the mask folder, and then create an exposure. And then you see, in this case, I went down with the gamma, and it just did this over and over and over on every surface to basically make it brighter, and but without losing the depth of my scene. And here we have a render region. As you can see, if I hide the mask, you can just press on the thumbnail, click on with the shift button and the mouse. And as you can see, this is the render region. So when he did the render, he said, "Oh, I forgot about the plants." So we did a render region, just a crop, a very quick one, and then we just put on top and mask it with just a couple of selection here, a couple of rectangle, and that's it. And as you can see, it works fine. So this is basically how we started. We just washed everything with a white tone, and then we were happy, and we basically save. Now this is a smart object. I don't save it. I don't want to change it, the original content, but this is this is the starting point now, and with a few more adjustment, a little bit of warm light in here, stuff we are going to see. But anyway, we start from something brighter and something we like more, just because we are working on the 32-bit and we are working with the gamma and the exposure. And we can also put render region if we have some mistakes. Remember one thing: if you forget to cut out the render, so maybe you still have some sort of sky or some sort of background in the beauty pass, and you want to cut out to get then to be able to put some background in the 16-bit pass, do your cutout in the 32-bit. So if you take away the background from a 32-bit, it's a lot better. It's a lot better because it's kind of more accurate. There's more information on the fringes of the masks. So this should be the right place where you cut out the background if you have to. Okay. Now, if you follow my instructions, there should be no reason for that. But you never know. You never know. Maybe you are working on some old post-production and you need this. Okay. That's it.